Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. If you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube. Wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now understand, sometimes even I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, as I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. And by the way, you only can make comments or questions during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Excuse me. If you find Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, Saturday at John's, contest cards. As a matter of fact, Sparky's at the Nationals right now, giving live coverage of the Nats. If you enjoy that stuff and you find that informative and enjoyable, please give us a thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, and subscribe and share the videos and comments. Also help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please also consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships below that blue button. And membership start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my checking account every month, and I don't miss it, and I suspect you won't miss it either. You also can support us through the super chat that's over here. There's a $ below the chat box, and you can donate any amount you like. Okay, now your support helps offset some of the expenses that Sparky does running Stunthangar and this YouTube channel and all that. And with your memberships, you'll get special badges and stickers that Sparky and I can see, so we know who are the supporting patrons, and also you're helping your hobby. Hope that you love and enjoy like I do. Now I'm only in here twice a week. This is Sparky's YouTube channel, not mine. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. Let me repeat that. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you go to the video called the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his Junar XL. And if you comment or ask a question there, I will be notified because that's my channel, and I'll be able to respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post a link now at Stunthangar Forum. And then I'm going to go to the what I call the control panel. So the link is being posted right now. Great, and we get rid of that tab. And I'm going to also do something else real quick. Pardon me. Hope everybody had a good day. I'm really excited for Sparky. He actually got the Concours Award for his Monado, and that is awesome. That really is. I know he's been working hard on all of his planes, and so it's just great to see that all that hard work paid off, and he got the coveted Concours Award. Let me see. I'm trying to do two things simultaneously. Let me do this again here, and I'll be at the control panel just momentarily. Just give me a second here. That's not what I wanted, but that's going to do it right now. I'll come back to that. I hear someone there. Just a second. And let me see here. Okay, and let me go over here. I got a couple more things to do. Just be a moment. YouTube Studio. Get rid of this. And, hey, how's it going? Thank you, Stuart. Thanks for coming in. I'll be right with you. Let me take care of a few housekeeping things here. And I'll give you my undivided attention. But thanks for coming in early. I appreciate it. And it looks like John Miller's getting ready to come in here also. That's great. Fantastic. And let's see here. Looks like we have 11 concurrent viewers and 6 likes. Thank you very much. I see Jack Snavely. It says hello all around the world, just saying hi and like. Thank you very much. And Tom Ramos says like provided. Thank you, Tom. And let me fix this other thing here. And let's see here. Just another couple clicks and I will be, I wish this setup could get done prior. There might be a way, but I don't know. Anyways, Stuart, you're the first one in. So I see we're in your shop again. Fantastic.
Yeah, got an engine that's connecting rod problem.
Oh, no. Hey, John, how you doing, John? You can't hear me? Stuart, can you hear me, Stuart?
Yep, sorry, yep. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. And
Okay.
so I don't know what's going on, John. Why don't you go down to the bottom left of your screen and see where the microphone is? And there's an arrow there. If you click on that, there's a menu that'll pull up and you can select your speakers. Maybe it's not selected or somehow got kicked out of there. Of course, he couldn't hear me, so I'm telling him something he can't hear me. Let me see here. Let me see here. Let me do this. I guess I can just chat here more. Just a second, Stuart.
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Just go ahead. Do what you gotta do.
Let me see if I can help John.
I got it.
All right, John. Okay. Good.
Yeah, my sound was turned all the way up and it was turned off. So I just pulled it down a little bit, turned it down a little bit. There you were.
Very good. And there's a crackling in your audio too. I don't know what that's
I
about.
know it. I don't know where that. Ever since I went on this laptop, I've had that problem, and I don't know where it's coming from.
Are you using the microphone that's in the laptop, or are you using a separate microphone?
I'm using the microphone that's with the camera.
Oh, okay. Well, your laptop has a microphone, so maybe if you go down to where the microphone is, there's a little arrow next to it, at least on my screen. If you click that, you can change the speaker you want and microphone you want. So maybe you can select a different microphone.
All right, Hold on a minute.
Anyways, can you still hear
How's
me?
that?
Oh, that sounds. Let's hear it. Go on, say some more.
Hello.
Good.
Yeah, that's a little better. Yeah, it's not. I don't hear the crackling.
Yeah, but look at I'm almost froze.
There's a little bit of cracking, but I didn't notice you freezing. It's not obvious to me yet that you're freezing up. Anyways, anybody watch any of the coverage that Sparky's doing? Or I'm sure Mike Lonke is also posting on his social event. Anybody been watching anything?
I haven't.
Well, I don't know if you guys know about this, but Sparky won the Concours Elegance. Did you guys hear that? You heard that, John?
I'm locked up.
Well, you're still moving on our side.
I'm not on mine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Yeah, I knew that he won it. Somebody came on the forum and made the announcement. So
Yeah, I imagine so. It doesn't surprise me. That's where it was. I actually was watching I think it's the award, not the awards ceremony, but I was watching some film, and I see him get presented with the Concours trophy. That was pretty neat.
What's a concourse trophy? I'm new to all this.
Maybe someone else can explain it better than I could. How about you, Keith?
It's not called concourse, it's concours. That's French for something like supposed to be really nice. It's for best appearing airplane.
Okay.
And like I say, it's concours. It's French. It's either pronounced concours or concours. And it just is picked up. Everybody calls it concourse, but it's not concourse. It's spelled Concourse. And that started a long time ago for everybody votes, all the people that are entered in the event gets to vote for the best appearing airplane. And that doesn't necessarily, it's going to be in the front row, but what the judges do, it's what the people think is best appearing airplane. No, there's no standard. It's just people walk around and view the airplane. Anytime they see it and if they like an airplane, they'll put in what they think's the best appearing airplane. And then there's a special award. Some people have gone to great lengths to make special trophies for that over the past. I don't know what the current trophy looks like, but it's quite a privilege to be recognized for that. I don't know if that explains very much.
No, it did. That did. Thank you very much, Keith. As I know you've been there more than I have. I've only been to one Nats. And your first time, everything's just a blur, I was just so happy to be there. So hey, Brendan and Angstrom, thanks for coming in. And by the way, thanks for coming in, Gary.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. So you're back from your vacation, I see.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad you made it back safely.
We got to see something neat.
What was that?
Three nights we got to see the space station go over top.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the second night we got to see it twice. Went over, and then in 90 minutes it went over again.
Very cool. Yeah, it's like the second brightest thing in the sky, right?
Yeah, and it's just constantly going over. Just really neat. Really
It
neat.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was the second brightest thing in the sky, but that's
Yeah.
how you can find it. Yeah. So did you hear, Gary, about Sparky?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and that's a couple of text messages there.
Yeah, I'm happy
Yeah.
for him. That's a lot of hard work. He's been, and you figure also just him doing all these building videos and painting videos.
Yeah.
So it's nice that he has some credentials besides his. I mean, he did that for the Navy. He was a painter of gray.
Yeah, John Jordan got second row.
Really? Wow. Wow, that's good. Yeah, so I just saw the one video, and I hope to watch more coverage as the week continues.
And then the one from up there in Washington State, you know, had that electric plane. Let's see, what's his name?
Oh, you're
He
talking
got-
about Howard Rush.
Howard Rush got first. He was beside Sparky on the first row.
It was just two planes in the front row, just Howard.
There's
and
another
Sparky?
one. I'm not sure. I can't remember what the name of who he was, but yeah.
Wow. So there was just three planes in the first row?
Yeah.
Wow. That's exciting. I'm really happy for Sparky. That is
Me
great.
too. Yeah.
He's been working hard for it, and all that sanding. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. So anybody done any flying since our last show Friday? Anybody done any flying or building?
Yeah, go ahead. Tell me you did some flying. Go ahead. I did some flying.
Did some
I know a
flying?
little flying.
All right, Angstrom. All right, you flew the twister there.
We did the Pathfinder. We were flying Pathfinder a little bit.
Oh,
We-
the Pathfinder.
We
Okay,
get to fly this a little bit too.
very good. Now, which one are you kind of leaning more toward? You enjoy flying the most?
Yeah, Pathfinder right now. We've not got to fly this much.
Okay. Very, very cool. Yeah, I hear. I mean, I've flown a Pathfinder twin. I had one for a little while, and it was just so frustrating trying to get two IC motors to run right, and there was just something wrong with that airframe. I suspect never could get 2 engines to run good, so I just gave up on the plane. But it was given to me, and they had given up on the plane too prior to me, so it wasn't like it was a surprise I couldn't get to work right.
Yeah, we gave up on IC motors just trying to get one to run right. I can't imagine what it's like trying to tune two right perfectly with each other.
It's not that bad, but two is kind of problematic. I know Gordon Delaney is really good at getting two motors to run well together, and I imagine Keith is good at it too, because I've seen Keith's half A with three motors. So I imagine Keith can get two motors to run good. And it looks like Steve Hines is getting ready to come in. Hey, Steve, thank you for coming in.
Go on.
Oh, we're just talking to Angstrom. He did some flying, flew his Pathfinder, and then he flew a little bit of his Twister, I believe.
Cool. I thought you guys would be at the Nats.
Yeah, we ended up skipping out on it. He was kind of in the between place between the beginner and the intermediate, but with gas prices being what they are, I don't know. It's kind of pricey to get out for one show, whether you get out for the beginner intermediate competition at the beginning of the week or the junior senior open at the end. I don't know, to go out for kind of one round of flights, it's a bit of a hit on the pocketbook, but I think we're going to hit the Cleveland event in late September.
Oh,
where
cool.
there's about 3 or 4 different things we can get wrapped up in and be a part of. So I think that's going to be more of our interest.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, that the gas prices does kind of put a wrinkle in my contest travels.
Yeah, that in motel rooms. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we got our RV now, so that's a nice perk we have in terms of not putting all those expenses. But on the other side, when you're getting 8 miles to the gallon, yeah, at these gas prices, that too. So you're hit either way, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Keith, what you been up to, Keith?
Not much. Getting ready to put a new connecting rod in an engine, but that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in, Keith. I appreciate it.
I was thinking some more about that Concours. I think Arlie Presler started that when he was the event director. That would have been in the late 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And he established the award. He would make wooden propeller from a light plane and put a super finish on it with a plaque on it. And it is, I don't know, 5 foot, 6 foot propeller. and that was handed to the guy that got the Concours Award.
Yeah,
So who won it today? Anyone here?
Sparky.
Sparky.
Oh, Sparky won it with a
Sparky won it. Yeah.
With the Minato, not the Junar, but the Minato.
Oh, okay.
And I have to catch up on the chat box. John Shoe Collect says, yes, I've been watching. Great that Sparky won the pilot's choice. And he goes on to say that there were 4 front row airplanes. They were scored at 19 points apiece. And he goes on to say that there were 4 front row airplanes. So that's pretty neat.
4, okay.
They say who made the front row? Anyone know who made the front row or not?
I know Gary. You want to say, Gary, what you said earlier? I know you mentioned
Sparky, and then the guy up there. What's his name?
Howard Rush.
Howard Rush. And then
Okay.
a couple other guys in, yeah. Mhm.
And we have
Yeah, I
Gary.
heard Howard was there yesterday, but I didn't see him.
Jerry, thanks for coming in, Jerry.
I seen Dave Fitzgerald, Chris Cox, he was there. The guy there we were talking about, Charles, I can't. Nunez.
Dennis. Yeah,
Dennis, seen Dennis.
I saw Tim Just as I was watching the video on the presentation for Sparky. I saw Tim Just cross
Okay.
running from the camera. So that's pretty neat. He's from California as well. And he's a very good flyer. Tim Just is really coming up quickly.
Is he a real tall guy?
Yeah, real tall guy. Yeah.
I saw that happy guy.
I seen him yesterday. He was there with Dennis and him. So yeah, really tall guy. So
Yeah, he's a fun guy.
It was raining. Fun. It was raining so bad yesterday that I left early, but I mean, it was coming down in buckets. People were pulled off the expressway. I was doing about 35 miles an hour, was all faster I could go. It was raining so hard.
Wow.
Did you take that trophy back? Is that what you went for?
No, I took some I got rid of 3 airplanes and let Dennis borrow my Vector with the Fear Ready system in it, and let him borrow my Charger to see what he thought of that. The Charger's so much faster and so much better than these other Chargers, and they're inexpensive for the price that you normally pay. And I seen that Hobby King, they're putting their Turnigy name on the same brand. That that one, I forget the name of yours.
Yeah, but the one you turned me on to, the original name was Toolkit, right?
Yeah, Toolkit is the one I got. Yours just has a different name on it.
I forgot what mine is. It's MC.
And now Turnigy's putting their name on them.
And
so
same thing. Looks like the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
really?
But yeah, there's so much better Chargers than what you can spend $200 on. You can get them for $69.
Yeah.
So he's gonna try all that stuff out, and I gave him, I don't know, 10 15 propellers to test. And
wow, nice.
So
I'm curious what Stuart, what are you doing? I'm gonna make you big. What are you doing, Stuart? I'm glad you're doing something in the shop, but what are you doing?
I'm replacing an engine. I had a second one, but it's for RC. So actually, I got a question.
Okay.
Because I'm kind of new to this engine thing. Like, you could see that basically the connecting rod, to get it, you have to pull it out, don't you? Kind of off the end of the.
yeah, you got to pull the cylinder. You got to take the head off, pull the cylinder, then there'll be enough room to take the connecting rod off.
Okay, I wondered if I had to do something like that. I wasn't sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks. So yeah, I think
some of the older motors had like a plug you could take out and push the pin for the piston out of it, and then you could get the rod out. But yeah, then you just gotta pull the cylinder.
All right, yeah.
What?
Is
What, you think you got a bad rod?
look at the back of this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Use a light-
it's the bearing. I'm not sure if this is a bearing or some type of sleeve, but it's got markings on it, like lettering or numbers. So I wonder if it's a roll bearing of some sort.
But-
I don't think you can see it.
On the end of the rod?
On the yeah. Oops. I don't think I can get
It's,
it. Like,
it'll be brass sleeve.
no,
I would
not a,
think.
this one's gas engine though.
Oh yeah, it's a roller bearing in it.
Yeah, and it gets split or something. So that's the problem.
Interesting.
Were you starting it with a starter?
Yeah, these ones we do because it's they're made to do that. They're not like a stunt engine.
You got to be careful though, because a lot of times you can push that crank back into that case, and that's what causes all the scarring.
Oh, okay.
Because people take and put them on there, and just push really super hard. If you bump start them, you got to be careful. That's why you see a lot of people in stunt, hand flipping, and I always did, most of the time too in RC, just because you'll take out that crank.
Okay, well maybe I'll go back to that. All right, I didn't like everybody in the RC club and that uses a starter.
Yeah,
but maybe you're right. Maybe this one I gotta be more careful on.
yeah. I don't know how much play there is in that crankshaft, and it may allow it to go back and hit on that back plate and just.
That may be what chewed it up.
Yeah, that looks like a starter mark to me. But you should be able to flip that.
Yeah, I haven't done it, so I don't know.
Oh.
But I'll try it. I'll give it a try.
Now, the engine that's on the plane, is that an Evolution engine?
Yeah, this is the same one. I happen to have two of them, and so I'm just gonna change them out because this one's working. I tend to crash a lot. So.
Now a crash could push everything back in there too. And if that other one crashed in, a crash can cause that.
It quit in the air. So.
Oh, okay.
And then it was stiff. So that bearing's all screwed up. You could tell it's all tight in there. So I kind of loosened it, depending on where it was. So.
Hopefully you can get another bearing stuff.
Yeah, we got a bearing shop in town, so I'll see if I can get one. I know they're not making these anymore. They're gone out of business. I'll have to see if I can get something. But
What size engine is that?
it's a 10cc gas.
The 60.
Yeah, a 60.
They call them, when they do the gas, and they don't call them 60s anymore. Then they jump it up to CCs. So.
Oh, okay.
When you see it, 75 is a 15cc, 20cc, one, we
Interesting.
used to call a 90 or whatever.
Well, a 90 is 15 cc.
90 is 15?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what a 20cc would be then. Maybe a 120.
Something like that.
Maybe that'd be appropriate.
So, Jerry, what you been up to, Jerry?
Working on the house.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We painted, Jay and I painted some benches and tables for a flying site this Sunday.
Oh,
Yeah,
very
we-
cool. Oh, very cool.
We
nice.
had a work day yesterday, and fortunately, most of the painting was under the pavilion, so didn't even get too hot.
It got too hot to fly. It's one of the nicest days we've had all spring, but got too hot.
Yeah, so we had a work day instead of flying. But by 10 o'clock, it was starting to get pretty warm.
Well, baked on paint lasts longer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I was going to go flying this morning, but I needed to relieve the back of my badass prop that I got, the 12.6 wooden prop.
Yeah.
And I needed to relieve it, have like a 3/8 of an inch diameter relief to accept this shoulder. Let me make myself big. So I can show you what's going on with me.
You are big.
There we go. Thank you. So this part, when it slides all the way over, this is they call it. Then you have the shoulder right there. That shoulder measures 3/8 of an inch. So I was drilling my prop, but I didn't want to go all the way through the prop. I just wanted to relieve like a 1/16 of an inch or so. And I just kind of used different size drills to kind of get up in space because I didn't want I wanted it to be pretty precise. Make a long story short, the prop got away from me and went up the drill. I was using a drill press, but the prop rolled up the drill bit, cockeyed. And so now my hole is not, right. And I was just so frustrated. I didn't go flying. I was just so upset because I just bought the prop, with the prop and shipping is almost $20.
All right. So you have old, the plastic props,
APCs.
APC.
Yeah.
A package of them comes with spacers.
Right.
Just over drill it, put a spacer in, and then sand down your spacer because you only need just a little bit of it to catch the smaller diameter.
You talk about
back right in the hole.
You talk about trying to salvage the wooden prop.
Yeah.
No, but the hole I put is not perpendicular. It's cockeyed. When it went up the drill bit, it got cocked. So there's no way I can. It
drilled it completely. It didn't run it up, or did it drill it out?
It went up the drill bit, but at an angle.
Oh, okay.
So it's a piece of junk right now.
So try drilling a square straight hole and put a bigger spacer on it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just over drill it.
And put it on a good flat plate on your drill press so that it stays square.
Yeah, I'm just, I might try that. I haven't thrown the prop away, but I was just so disgusted. Hey, Eddie, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Well,
yeah, I was gonna say, if you do another one like that, Charles, if it's 3/8, go up a bigger drill bit than 3/8, and just go in a 1/4 inch and make it a big hole, because the small part is what's going to align you. Then
Right.
The back part, if that isn't machined right or on an angle, anything like that, it won't hurt anything. But yeah, I just relieve them with a lot bigger drill bit than what that is, and just bump that in a little bit and then stick it on.
Yeah, I was just being so careful, and then I just couldn't hold I was lowering the the drill press and holding the prop with one hand. Would have been nice if I had another hand to hold the prop, so it wouldn't ride up the bit. It's just so frustrated.
You don't have a prop reamer?
Well, the prop reamer, it was going to make the hole. You had to go through, it's like 3 or 4 stages, right? The prop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
And so you end up making the hole even bigger before you get to the 3/8.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna see if I can find
I'll be right back.
a nice step reamer, which is just 2 steps. I have 1/4 inch, and then the next step being 3/8, so I can keep that small hole. We just call it is it's not even a 1/4 inch. The shaft on it, it's I'm not sure what it is, but it's not a 1/4 inch.
Probably 7mm. That's what a Super Tiger is.
Yeah, I don't know what, I didn't measure it,
I
but
had to buy a 7mm drill bit for the Super Tiger 51 because it's got a 7mm shaft but it's turned down to 1/4 for the nut. So I had to,
I have a comment from Tom Ramley. He says, Charles, when drilling props, use a step bit. Yeah, I'm going to look for a step bit that would be a 1/4 inch, and then the second step be 3/8. And that way I can just keep the prop hole small, and I could just relieve the back of it just a little bit.
Yeah, Charles, I just use a drill, a hand drill. Just set it down and go. And just, you can put a piece of tape on your drill if you want to get the height.
Right.
Just, relieve it and make it bigger so it doesn't fit on there tight or anything.
Right.
Because that back part doesn't do anything. You have enough of the hole in it to align it, and then once you tighten it down, and it's not going to move.
Yeah, I this is my first time having trouble. I've done it many times successfully, and this time it just didn't work out. And I just have a drill press. So I just prefer using a drill press over a hand drill whenever I can do any drilling. Yeah, so that's the adventures I had today, and I was just so frustrated. The other challenge I have, Steve, is with let me make myself big. Is I have this.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at it because it gets frustrating. Everything.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Especially when you waste money. That's really frustrating for me. So here's the back plate to a spinner I want to use. If I use this, right, put this inside here, now I barely have enough thread left after the prop is on there. Barely. I mean, there's got to be a better way than this. With my prop, there's not enough threads left over.
What? Well, oh, okay. You need
it has a little bit of a.
Let's see the main hole. Let me see the back now.
You want to see this part?
No, the back of that. Oh, okay. I thought maybe there was a taper in it, but it's just straight through.
Yeah.
What is that made for?
For this spinner. For this this is a pusher spinner.
And that's a massive hole though in that. So you're gonna have to bush that to make it fit?
No, it fits this 3/8 shoulder perfect. That shoulder goes in there pretty nice actually.
Oh, that comes all as a unit like that?
I didn't buy this. I bought some stuff from a gentleman, and he had all kinds of different stuff, and so I don't know how it came. These are all separate. I assume this is how it was. That's kind of what my other question is how would you normally mount this to an electric motor?
You need another net there, don't you? A long net, and then a screw goes in the front of the spinner into that nut.
Right. There's a hole in this shaft there, this threaded shaft. So I can put a screw in the front and then attach that shaft. But
so just that bolt ain't long enough then.
Yeah, but
yeah, you don't have much there, do you?
I didn't see any longer in the hobby store I went to today. With a collet, I need a collet to slide onto the electric motor.
Yeah.
Is that the original for the motor you're using?
The motors don't come with any spinners or adapters. I mean, they might come with an adapter, but I'll have to check and see. I might have the original box might have a longer adapter. I have to double check. That's a good question.
Yeah, that would be the only other I could think of would be a longer adapter like that. I've never seen a spinner. I don't know who made that or whatever.
Yeah, I like the spinners you referred me to, the ones from, was it MPI or
Yeah.
Max? Yeah, but they were out of stock last time I checked.
Well, that means they'll never have them again then.
Well, you know, whatever you like, Steve, runs out of stock. So you gotta stop liking stuff.
Yeah, you may have to go to Hobby King and see what they got. They may have, you know, because there's so many RCs with electric, they should have spinners for electric airplanes.
Good check Hobby Horizon.
Check Horizon, you said?
Horizon Hobby, I should say. Yeah.
All right, I can check them too.
True Turn might have some.
You can get them. You can get them from True Turn, but I mean,
money. Woo.
That prop adapter and everything I got for Samantha's airplane was like $110.
Yeah. True Turn is high dollar.
Yeah.
And then you got to buy all the components separate, and then you got to use their, because it was back mounted. There, you got to get in the engine, and then they make it, or the motor, and they make it to fit on that motor. And yeah, it's expensive. It all comes in parts, and you put it together.
Horizon Hobby has a lot of different motors, so they've got, I'm sure they'll have a number of different ones. Measure the, you go by the shaft of your motor, right? If you're
Yeah,
looking
this
for-
motor shaft is a 5mm shaft on the motor. Let me say hi to Caffeine. Hey, Caffeine, thanks for coming in.
Hi, everyone.
I can't mean.
Hey,
What's happening with you, Caffeine?
Yeah, I just got back from another city over the weekend. So I was just listening to your conversation, and I actually have the similar problem with
Oh, good.
very short shaft on my engine. So I had to I just got a prop reamer, but yeah, I will try it.
Yeah,
soon.
and they have prop extensions too that can help when your crankshaft is too short. I've used a lot of prop extensions in the past. Hey, Dennis is in here. Thank you, Dennis, for coming. I know it's been a long day for you. I appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. Well, my roomie went to bed here, so I'm sitting out in front of the hotel. So
He's not the night owl that you and I are, huh?
that's it. That's it. He'll party hardy till about 8:30. So
That is your roommate, Wesley Dick?
yeah.
Okay, well, you know, we got to give the guy a break. He's not.
Oh, absolutely.
Not as young as me.
That's it. That's it. But I just wanted to say hi. So
I appreciate it. I had a little bit of trepidation about the show because I didn't know who was going to come in. I asked Steve to come in earlier, and I meant to call some other people, but I didn't get around to it.
That's okay. Well, you got a lot of the chat room people are here, so I don't know. Anybody else check in from here? Howard or Mike?
You're the only one so far.
Okay. Okay.
You want to give us a rundown of today, what you experienced and what you saw?
Well, today is actually kind of a slow day. Normally, it was the only thing really on the schedule is the appearance points judging and pilots meeting, and they pick flight order and things like that. A lot of administrative kind of things. Maybe got a little busier on the practice site than normal because we basically lost yesterday to practice, so everybody was out today, and it got pretty busy out on the practice circles. But that was a good thing. I mean, basically everybody was out there flying. I only got a couple of flights this morning. I was out there, I think, 3 hours and got 2 flights. And,
Go get a lot of rain.
Not today. We got it yesterday. We got over, almost 5 inches of rain yesterday. So,
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. It was so bad that today they basically told everybody to stay the heck off the grass circles, which are normal practice areas too. And they're going to move the classic and old time from the grass circles onto the L-pad, onto the pavement tomorrow. the circles themselves are in pretty good shape, but driving back to it, there's a couple areas driving back that get that flood. And basically, if you go back there, if you drive back there, there's a really strong chance that you're going to get stuck. So if you can, you can park about probably 150 yards away and walk into the one circle and stuff. That wouldn't be too bad. But I think that's the only way we'll see anybody in the grass even tomorrow.
You need a float plane.
You need float shoes to get to the float. Yeah, but so at any rate, lots of flying in the morning, and then around noon, it was actually a very nice day to fly. It was actually foggy out, turned a little misty, but we had like 2-3 mile an hour winds, basically sun heaven kind of conditions. And so there's a lot of flying going on, and it all broke up around noon. The appearance judging started at 1. John Parrish, Michelle Lee, and their crew they had a real nice organization. Walked us right on through it. They did the appearance judging out on the field next to the the veranda there on the L pad. So checked in your airplane, handed it over, and then walked away for a while. Let's see, it was Mark Wise and Mike Eber, one of the local guys in Muncie, did the appearance judging. You got them all lined up. And as you know, Sparky was the concourse winner. He brought his red Minato that I don't know if you've been following his videos. He's had that thing out the last week or so. He's been trying to get that airborne. He finally got to fly it today. So he's going into the Nats with so far one practice flight on the airplane. But it is actually an older airplane, 5 or 6 years or something like that. I don't think he's flown it much lately, but it's not a completely new thing. But it's a beautiful airplane, and attendees, rewarded that, which Sparky's wanted that for a long time, and I think he's really proud of that. He should be. It's a beautiful airplane.
Right.
So more practicing in the evening here. I felt kind of burned out. It's surprising how just being out there, even though it wasn't really excruciating hot out there, it was about mid-80s or so. It's going to get worse. It still takes a lot out of you. And I came back to the hotel, and I ended up not going back out. But my friend Wes he was delayed. He was supposed to be here yesterday, and but his wife had an issue, and they ended up having to take her to the doctor this morning just to get her checked out. And so he didn't get in till this evening, and gathered him and Bob McDonald up, and we went off to dinner at one of the local places, at a real nice dinner. I don't know, as far as what's happening right now, there's a lot of, I'll call it, administrative kind of things happening. We're getting ready for the week, if you will. And tomorrow it'll start off. Mike Schmidt from Chicago is going to be running the classic Nostalgia 30 and Old Time. Again, all on the L pad on circles 1 and 2. Mark Overmeyer, Chief Judge, is going to be running judges training on one of the circles. So at least in the morning, 3 of the 4 circles are going to be tied up with events and judges training, but that'll all break up pretty, well, the judges training should be finished by 8:30, maybe 9 o'clock at the outside. And so we'll have 2 circles going. And then of course, after they finish the events, they'll turn those circles loose. So by tomorrow afternoon, it'll be really busy again. So far, I'd say we had that incredible weather yesterday. We got a 90-minute break in the morning between about 9 and 10:30. We were able to run the intermediate and the beginner stunt. It, as it turned out, very low entry in both. I think because the forecast scared a lot of people off. But at any rate, we were able to get it all done. And frankly, the wind was a bigger obstacle than the rain was. So it was a little breezy. And the rain was just a few odd spots here and there. And best of all, the lightning and thunder left us alone for a while. So but you know, that was that. So I don't know. We're cruising along, I guess, about where we expect to be right now, and things will start ramping up tomorrow. So
Very good. There was a question on the front row as far as the appearance judging. There was Howard and Sparky, and who were the other two planes?
Chris Cox with his beautiful Hellcat. That's been a concourse winner, I believe, in years past.
As this blue and white one, or another one?
It's overall it's overall blue in.
Okay.
I think it's actually Canadian markings, not British markings, but not that there's a lot of difference there. But yeah, let's see, fourth airplane. I got to think a minute. I'm not sure. Drawing a blank, but yeah, there were four there, and I don't know what the fourth one was off the top. I don't know, but as you can imagine, the front row airplanes. First up, the best airplanes got 19 points. There were no 20s, and so, and I think that's right. I think that's right. Chris's airplane is really exceptional. Sparky's airplane is exceptional. Howard's airplane is much prettier than he's led us to believe, of course.
It's much what? I didn't quite get that.
It's much prettier. You know, he keeps,
pretty.
You know, we keep telling him how good it looks when he shows it on this, and he keeps, you know, saying, no, it isn't. No, it isn't. Well, it is quite pretty. It's quite nice. Fourth airplane was, can't think of the man's name. He was a past concourse winner too.
The orange plane?
Yeah, the fourth airplane. No, the orange and yellow airplane, of course, is Howard's. This one was red, white, blue, and black, I think. I think his name is Steve something or other.
Millet, I think.
Steve Millet. That sounds right. That sounds right.
Okay.
That sounds right. I think that was the fourth airplane.
And that was a pretty plane. That was a pretty, if it's the same one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I don't know if it's exactly the same airplane that he won concourse with in the past, but it's very much like the one he won concourse with. If it's different, it's very much like it. And it is gorgeous. So a good day, a good day for the auto finishers there, except for Sparky, of course. Sparky is using all dope finishes yet, which is in this day and age pretty remarkable. So
yeah, pretty.
You get that result with it, you know, with all dope finish. So
yeah, it's a lot of sanding.
Well, and, you get that kind of a shine out of a dope finish. You really got to work it. So
yeah.
And I have some very, very bad news for Keith here. I went over to the museum for a little bit, and they have revamped the scale area, and I couldn't find the MB5. And that was kind of sad because it's been out there. I mean, that's been usually one of the things I check in on. And they had put up a different display. They are rebuilding a scale display in a different part of the museum, but it's still a work in progress. And it may not, you know, it's not finished by any means, and it may yet end up on display in that new area. I don't know that, but according to the girl there at the front desk, they're still working on it, and she said that's going to be the scale area, whatever that means. So
was there still a Bearcat, the Gulfport colors on it there?
Yes, and that same that was there, and then there was an area in the middle there. I don't recall what used to be there. It might have been where they had the some of the target drones.
Yeah.
And then they had some more target drones. Those looked to be moved someplace else and whatever. And it said right now it looked like it was just a work in progress. It's kind of a mess actually right now. So, but there would be space for for at least a few of the scale models. I don't think it's as big an area as what they used to command in this. You know, it was right in the center of the museum. They had that pretty good sized concourse there. But
I seen Ryan's Eagle there sitting on the ground.
Yeah, Ryan's Eagle twin. That was Buddy Weeder's airplane. Buddy is a friend of Bob. They built that side by side when Bob built his second Wind twin from a few years ago.
Are they going to hang that up or what?
I don't know. Right now it was sitting on the ground. It was just sitting on some bubble wrap on the ground. And I can't, well, they certainly can't display it that way. I think they're going to have to hang it. But, you know, the retracts, the gear was up and everything like that. So I got to presume that they're going to do like you just said, they're probably going to hang it. So.
Well, it was on Facebook that it was just delivered in the past couple of days, so.
Was it?
It was just
Okay.
delivered to them in the past couple of days, so I don't think they've
Okay.
had time to consider what they're gonna do.
All right. That makes sense because it was kind of just sitting there. It's like, it seemed odd, you know, like it, and it could have been just what you described. They just got it, unwrapped it or whatever, and they just sat it there. It's like, say it's sitting on basically a cushion of bubble wrap right now. So
Yeah,
I'm sure they're not going to display it that way.
Hey, did you get all your stuff from John?
No, not yet actually, but John was pretty busy today, so I didn't get a chance to spend much time with him really.
It was in the back of Vince's truck.
Okay.
And then John had the charger and all that kind of stuff in his truck and the props and all that. But at least you could try, you know, you could try the charger. See what you think. Because you're using 4-cell, aren't you?
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Any other questions about what's going on or anything?
Well, I just I wish Tom Creasy would come in so we can congratulate him for winning.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize he had been there that many times. And so, yeah, the one really sad note is in the beginner event, they didn't have any kids there this year. Like, that's a first. So, and Naomi was there and she was the only crasher today. So.
Who was at that pancake?
That was over in intermediate. And that was Rick Bollinger.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really? Oh, it's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rick.
Yeah, it'll fly again. I don't really know exactly what happened to him. It was like he was coming around into the wind and he just kind of, you know, the airplane was like ballooning or something and he went to hold the nose down and he held the nose right down into the ground. So, and it just wiped the gear off basically. So,
okay. Let me say hi to Carl. Carl, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Yeah, so pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'd say I wish I was there at the Nats. Maybe next year we'll see.
I wish you guys all were there too. It's you know, there's not quite anything like it. It's quite a gathering. And,
how long did it rain yesterday? It's
from 11
when I left at 12:30.
Well, it was raining at 11 and it kept raining. It was raining extremely hard till about 6, and then it slowed down, went kind of off and on through the night. But it was the hotel parking lot. At one point, the hotel parking lot behind the hotel here, it was coming down so fast. The water was about an inch or two deep over the entire parking lot, the flat surface. It couldn't run off fast enough.
I tried to get out of there, you know, before it hit. Now, and I was waiting for John. I'm like, hey, I gotta go. So we put it in Vince's truck and stuff. And I mean, I went right out, tried to leave, and it hit before I hit the expressway. And we were doing 35. I mean, semi trucks, everything were pulled over to the side of the road.
Yep. Yeah, that's the kind of rain it was through mid-afternoon. Well, at one point, the first 6 hours into it, or it was around 3 in the afternoon, I checked the rain amount. It's at 2.7 inches in the 6 hours before that. You know, that would have been 6 hours starting about 11 o'clock. So yeah, it was really coming down. And I mean, they got basically a month's worth of rain yesterday. So, which probably makes up for, you know, what we've been behind, you know, the amount we've been behind or shorted so far this year. So they're probably at least.
I couldn't believe on the way down there, the difference between Michigan corn and Indiana corn. Usually Indiana corn is so much bigger than Michigan's, and how Michigan's is twice as big as the Indiana. I'm like, wow, they got to be way down on rain.
Yeah. Yeah, up by me, up by Fort Wayne, there's drive past some fields getting to my flying field, and the corn there is looking pretty good, but there's a couple of spots where it isn't too good. So, yeah.
I have a question from John Shukalek. He says, what are all the competition categories in stunt?
How to answer that? Well, of course, we have the basic categories are skill classes based on your experience level and expertise, the beginner, intermediate, advanced, and expert. All right. And then historically, before we had skill classes, we used to have arrangements strictly by age groups, the junior age group, which is up to, I think, 14, the senior age group up to 18, and then open age group was everybody beyond that. Now we got kind of a funny hybrid condition at the Nationals where we run beginner, intermediate, and advanced for the skill group, which go definitions, but we don't run an expert group. We run an open group, and that's the where the national champion is chosen from, the open class. And I believe the thought there is that, well, number one, it's the way it's always been. You know, traditionally the open class has been the top age group and experience group, and then also it's well, I don't know. I don't know what there isn't also on that. All right, so we got that, and that's for basic aerobatic, for the aerobatic events. Now, in addition to that, there are unofficial, non-rule book events that are run, like the old time stunt, classic stunt, and nostalgia 30. Those are all for designs from a certain period of time. Old time up to 1952. Classic designs were up to the end of 1969. And nostalgia 30 is that's a rolling deadline or end line. Basically, it's any design that was current 30 years ago. And of course, that changes every year. We add another year to it. So right now we're flying designs that were available up to 1992. All right. So John, you might check with John and see if that answers his question. But that would be about it.
They're all old timer events now because it's only old timers that fly any of them.
Well, that's true, but not strictly true, but it certainly seems like it. But usually it pertains to the age of the designs. So even young people can fly old time stunt. So if we ever find any. So
Where was your plane in the judging? What row was you on?
Wasn't the first, but it wasn't the last. So I ended up with 14. I ended up with 14 points.
That's pretty good. Which plane was this?
Oh, that was my big white airplane, the Esprit. I've actually the same airplane I've flown the last couple of years. And put it in perspective, 2 years ago, and I brought it here, I got 14 points. Last year, I got 15 points. This year, I got 14 points again. So I guess that's pretty consistent.
Pretty consistent.
It's a monocoated airplane, and there's no way around it. The monocoated airplanes do not score as well. You could see it today in the areas where there were a lot of airplanes that were done with monocoat wings and painted fuselages that did not do as well as, pardon the expression, that some of the airplanes that were all painted, but maybe not to the same degree of finish as you could get with, say, a combination of monocoat and paint. All right. That come off really bad, but basically the monocoat airplanes do not score as well as the painted airplanes. And of course now, if you're going to paint the airplane, the two-part automotive clears and stuff are prohibitive favorites because you can put them. Well, Bob Hunt used to tell me this is you could put that stuff on a piece of 150 sandpaper and get 16 points. All right. I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, I still can't believe that the AMA is promoting cancer causing substances.
Well, they're not. the AMA could give a damn about what we use for paint and everything like that. And the paints, if used properly, are not unsafe, but it's like, I'm not crazy about it. I'm not going to buy a spacesuit or anything like that to paint it or anything, but for those people who will do it and everything like that, the results are spectacular. Personally, and especially now when you see what Sparky accomplished with an all dope finish. Personally, I think that appearance points are in danger of becoming obsolete because the finishing techniques, the products available, are so spectacular now that there is even relative novice to painting can achieve spectacular results with the 2-part clears and stuff like that. I'm not completely crazy about that. I don't have an answer for it other than to do something like eliminate appearance points or something like that. I don't think I still can't push myself over that edge. I still think you see the lineup of airplanes the way we had today and everything like that. It's still a pretty spectacular show to see. Well, we had we had 60 airplanes between the advanced and opens today. We had them all lined up on the field today, and it's really quite a sight to just go through the appearance judging. So
Yeah.
I know, Steve, you and I have talked about this a lot, and I'm not crazy about the about the finish materials that are being used, and you can make a lot of arguments that even the people applying, you don't even know who applied the finish, and if you do a reasonable job on the paint buildup and then put that clear on it, man, you got a spectacular airplane. That's all there is to it. So,
Well, the current rules on appearance, the flyer is supposed to be the one who paints the airplane.
Mhm.
I know that's overlooked a lot, but that's the rule.
Yeah.
And that's why I have a problem with the rules, because the stuff they're using is so dangerous. It's is pushing for you to kill yourself to score good. I've had too many friends that that's died from working in the paint factory. And I had, the cancer I had, there was only 5 of us in the United States that had that particular kind of cancer, and we all worked in chemical factories. So this stuff is not safe. I mean, it's just not. And I guess that's the only good thing, is there's no young people coming up using this deadly stuff.
Let me welcome Bob Whitley. Bob, thanks for joining us. And I have a comment from a gentleman or a gentlewoman. I had to translate it, but he or she says, "Hi all, I would also like to join you, but don't know how. Just see you in Java and you see me. Thank you in advance, dear air modelers." So I hope you understand English, but if you do, you just go to stunthangar.com /SMF, and you will, I think there's this join button or something, and you just put your information in there. You need to have a valid email address, and you need to separate your first and your last name with a space, and then Sparky will approve you. Right now, Sparky's at the Nats, so that's not going to happen, most likely. He's spending
not tonight.
So, but that's how you would join us. And of course, if you speak English, we can understand you. So that's how you get in. Hopefully you understand what I said. So
all right,
continue on.
So anyway, hi Charles and everybody.
Hey man, how you doing?
Hey.
I'm doing good. I'm only going to be on for a couple of minutes. I've got to get up early and catch an airliner out to Ontario and bring another airplane back. So it's going to be a long couple of days. It's going to be kind of interesting because the guy that bought the airplane, it's a Cessna Cardinal retractable. He doesn't have a minute of flight instruction under his belt. So his very first flight lesson will be starting a 1,600-mile cross country.
Oh boy, what could possibly go wrong, huh?
Actually, I doubt anything will go wrong, but
yeah.
My students, even if they're flying a Cessna 150, I drill them as if they're flying a complex plane anyway. So retracts are no difference if you treat them like that way right from the start.
Well, if he's
Yeah,
never
I
been
met
up,
somebody from your. Go ahead, Dennis. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say, I just hope that your new pilot who bought the airplane and everything like that doesn't get up there and discover he's airsick in little airplanes or something.
No, he's been flying in little airplanes. He winters down in Arizona, and he's been up flying with a guy in an RV6 and whatnot. So as far as the flying goes, no problem, but zero experience actually flying it himself. So
Yeah,
this is
he'll
the
be
guy
all
that
right.
loans me his fancy new Corvette whenever I want to. So he's a good customer to have.
I think so. It's good to have friends like that.
Yeah, I met a
Yeah,
buddy of
plus-
yours or somebody from your area at the Nats. He was talking with.
Oh, that's probably Bob Jabot or Paul Jabot.
Oh, I'm not sure. I know
He flies
has-
speed.
Huh?
He flies speed.
He has something to
Okay.
do. He's up in the MAC organization.
Yeah,
doesn't he?
yeah. He's the control line chair for the National Advisory Committee. I'm on that council also. So is Len. We're all kind of pissed off at them anyway. But
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Paul and I go back to the early 1970s with the old Birds of a Tether Model Club.
Okay.
But
you
yeah,
said-
heck of
you
a
said
good
you
guy.
guys
He's
fly out of the same club or something there.
we fly out at Namao, which is north of the base here, just north of the city. So we've got two really nice circles mode, wheel pants, hard gear, no problem. And we've got our own riding mower and all that kind of stuff for it. So it's the field's kept up pretty good. And
Cool.
anytime school isn't in, we've got it to use. So, and school's out for the summer, so it's great.
That's great.
Yeah, he seemed like a nice guy.
Oh,
Well, I
he
haven't
is.
run-
Paul is a guy that knows engines inside and out. And if you check
Mhm.
up national and international records, his name's there a lot for speed.
Yeah, I haven't run into him yet, but of course, Lennon, Naomi, and Chris and Joan Cox are here from Western Canada. And it was I got the
Yeah,
pleasure of introducing those two couples to each other. So, because I
Good.
had known them individually, but they'd never met each other at all. Certainly, they're only
Right.
3,000 miles away. But
Yeah, I was going to Saturday night, but by the time we got back to the field there, Len was like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes behind me because he had to drop Naomi off. And Chris Cox was packing up, and then he left. He was pulling out as Len was pulling in.
yeah.
And I
Yeah,
said,
Chris
he
is
was
about
here.
as far west in Canada as you can get without going for a swim.
Yep. Of course, Len and Naomi are off Chatham, which is about an hour east of Detroit, over the border. So,
Yeah, I'll be heading to point quite a bit north of there. I'm going up to Toronto initially, and then up to Barrie to get the airplane. But it works out good because my niece and her family live there, so I'll get in a little bit of a visit too.
that sounds great.
Yeah, Dennis too. I was gonna say maybe you can help them on their way back home. It took them 7.5 hours to get down there, but they came all the way across, went into Battle Creek,
Oh, you're kidding.
and then came down. And I try to tell them I can't think of the highway, but just before you get into Fort Wayne there, you can angle off and hit 75, and that'll save them. I showed them on Waze how to do, try to do it, but they weren't getting it. But it said that trip was only 4 hours and 20 minutes that way. But
Yeah,
and I
there's
couldn't
actually-
believe they went 3 hours out of their way. But
Yeah, Bob
Yeah.
McDonald talking about it. And you come down on Highway 24, which it's a diagonal line between Detroit and Fort Wayne. At Fort Wayne, you circle around the city and pick up I-69 going straight south, hour and a half or so down to Muncie. And then you dump you on the west end of McGalliard Boulevard.
Oh, I didn't know 24 came all the
Yeah,
way.
well, 24 wouldn't do you any good, but it would do
No.
them. It would do them good getting back to
Yeah, to
back
get to
up
70 up to 75.
yeah,
on that
right.
side of
They
the
pick up
state.
75 at Toledo that way, and then of course just follow 75 basically to the tunnel or the bridge or whatever they want to do. So
Yeah, you should talk to them about that because they got there so late Saturday, you know, and I'm like, where'd you guys get out, you know, to take off on time and stuff? And they said, no, it took 7.5, almost 8 hours to get here. I'm like, oh man.
yeah, they got some bad navigation there. So
Yeah.
Yeah. So is Joan Cox doing judging again this year?
I believe so. Yeah,
Mhm.
she's a good judge. She's when I ran an ass a few years ago, she did it, and she was really I thought really good at it. And so
I hope to meet her this summer for our contest, the end of August. I've met Chris on different occasions, but Joan's never been out on those ones. So
mhm, mhm,
be good to
mhm.
meet them. That was fantastic news about Sparky and Tom today. Wow, it's blew me
Yeah.
away.
Yeah. it's
If ever
amazing.
two people deserved it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know if I've seen Sparky look quite as content as he did. So, you know,
He even had his beard trimmed neat and everything.
yeah, that's it.
It's kind of neat that there because you get to see how short he really is. All the other
It was
people.
the trophy itself is actually made by Mike Stinson, he's actually a combat flyer who also runs beginner stunt. You know, traditionally, ever since we lost Alan Brickhouse, he took over for Alan. And it's a real simple thing. It's basically a wooden block with, in this case, this year he had a great big round loop of brass with an airplane on the loop and a pilot figure holding, connected to the airplane. And it's a simple, elegant little trophy that it just really, really looks good. In the past,
Yeah, if
he's had
anybody
like
watching
a square
hasn't
loop
seen
or
it,
something. Yeah.
If anyone hasn't seen it, look it up. The award thing for that near the end of the tape today, or the video, and Sparky and him are taking it apart and packaging it. So it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I saw that
Is
video.
did Sparky put up his video then? I haven't been to his site yet tonight.
I don't know about later videos. I just only had time to really watch that one today.
Okay.
I saw the Concours Award and watched, and then whoa, that's Sparky. I know that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Charles, I'm gonna get out. I know you asked me to get on because you didn't know, how many people will be on tonight or whatever, but I did about an hour or better, too much walking on
All right.
uneven
Well, thank you for
ground.
coming in. I appreciate it, Steve.
See you,
Thank you.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
See you guys
All
later.
right. See ya. Take care.
Nice,
Yeah.
Steve.
I have a question for Dennis from the chat box, and it's from John Shukalek again. He says, Dennis, what fishing line are you using for 35, 40, and 46 size models?
I am using Power Pro Max Quattro 50-pound test. In any place I would have normally used 015 steel lines. All right.
Thank you.
And 50-pound test is a little stronger than the cable. I have had no issues with stretch whatsoever, and that's on airplanes up to the heaviest airplane I've flown on those lines is 54 ounces. The Mobest I took the Brodak was on that. No issues with stretch, and I'm very, very happy with the way it's working out.
Now, would you recommend those welded rings, like the number 3?
I do. I'm actually using a number 3.5, and I think Jim Hoffman showed us some number 4s, but I'm using I put Jim onto those at the brand that he said that he showed, the Spro, and I got mine from a store out east, actually an online. They mail ordered them online. The store was called Tackle Direct. They have a website. I believe it's just tackledirect.com. And you can order them there for I think they're $7 or $8 for a package of a dozen. And so that worked out real well. But I like having the steel rings in there because I like using hard point handles, and with those, of course, you're always connecting, disconnecting clips. And those rings, I think, give me a little more peace of mind about where the clips are going. Plus, because the rings are physically larger, they're about the ones I'm using are about 40 thousandths thick. They don't slip between the ends of a scissors type connector.
Right.
I use the Jim Lee wire bender or clip bender. And if you've ever used that, after you bend the clip, you need to go back and just tweak it a little bit to make sure that the scissors, works, that they work smoothly and touch each other and stuff like that. And though with those wire rings on it, it's less likely, the line is less likely to get between those hooks where they come up. And so it makes it very easy to see that the clip is properly centered on the line. When you're walking your lines out and stuff like that, I always check the clips.
You put those on both ends?
Yes. Yeah, I tie both ends with the modified surgeon's knots as shown in the video.
Yeah.
And then I use the rings inside of that. Attached to both of the loops. That you get two loops when you tie up the line, and I take both of those loops and tie them into the welded ring.
So you just loop them through?
Yeah, I do a lark's head knot through there, a Lenny loop, if you will.
Yeah.
If I showed some of that in that thread called Adventures in Spectra. One of the last post, or on the last page, I think it was on page 4 of the post, I showed what I was doing there. I also have taken some still pictures and stuff. Can't do it tonight, can't do it Friday, but maybe next week I could go through and physically just do a little demo there on the show, and just one more time show how to do it.
I just caught the tail end of what y'all was talking about the other night, so or when everyone was talking about it, but
yeah,
I do the same thing when I rig up my catfish rigs.
Okay, so you
put through like that too. So
frankly, it's one thing I was hoping we would get more when I started that thread on Spectra lines. I was hoping to get more feedback from the fishermen and the other people who are used to handling the line and stuff. And I was hoping that they would have some good ideas on what we should be doing and stuff like that. So, you got any ideas like that on what you're seeing and what we ought to be doing? Please jump in. So, I think we're still put it in perspective. My last count, I think, which I mentioned, we had everybody on the field today. Lenny and I went up and down. We counted a grand total of 2 people using Spectra lines today.
Wow,
Lenny was one and I was the other. All right.
Hey, that's good for you guys.
I think it's good. Even Dennis Nunes, he has not put the Spectra on his main big airplane that he was flying today. So, and of course, he's an early adopter, and he liked what he was doing, but for whatever reason, he has not done it yet on this airplane. So.
Well, everyone around here seems to be steadfast. I don't know about against them, but not interested in them or anything, or nothing positive being said about them. So I don't know. Maybe I'll have to buy some and try it just for the heck of it.
I've got some. I haven't made them up yet, but I like the fact that they don't kink.
Yeah.
You just wad them up, or not wad them up, but just roll them up on your spools and not have to really worry about getting them kinked up. Because I've got, I don't know, 2 or 3 sets that are ruined, the steel cables. I don't know why I still got them, but I've had them for probably 35 years now, but
yeah.
Well, I was thinking for myself, I'm usually out by myself, and lately, for time to get out there, and so I'm using a stooge, and the grass isn't mowed right down to the middle of the circle, just the takeoff, landing, laying out the lines, all that. So, I'm kind of having to drag lines across the stubbly grass of the odd dandelion if on the infield part. So I figure that's eventually going to bugger up a set of lines when I'm dragging it back to the stooge, or I better learn to land better and land at the stooge.
Playing closer, yeah.
Well, the other day at the field, Wes and I were out flying, and normally when we fly, we leave our lines on the field, okay, to the center. We just be usually careful about them. Well, I managed to land on top of his lines, hooked them. He managed to land on top of my lines and hooked them. And we're both using Spectra. The kind of events we had normally would have curled up, formed just a perfect set of curls and a set of steel lines and ruined them. Mm-hmm. And with these, it didn't have any effect at all. So,
wow.
So I don't know if that's a compelling reason to switch to it. What I keep noticing, and again, this may be related to the fact that I fly electric with low vibration levels and stuff. I keep noticing that the lines are so slippery. I don't think I could ever be happy flying on steel lines again. They would feel like chains, gripping on each other. So.
Okay, going from the steel lines to the Spectra lines, you can see your lines. What's the bow difference in the two? Can you tell?
I don't know if there's a lot of difference there. Depending on what you choose, a lot of them are not a lot smaller physically. So you could use, say, if you use just a regular over the counter, if you don't use the Max Quattro, which is a small size, you use the 50 or say 60-pound Power Pro. It's like an 0.16 diameter. So compared to an 0.15 steel line, basically the size of the line determines how much drag there is. There's probably something in there for the specific drag coefficient for a cable or something like that, or different cable. But the point is that physically the lines are about the same diameter, and so they so they end up bowing about the same, even though they don't weigh anything. Now, with the line that I just told John about, the 50-pound Max Quattro is actually an 0.12 diameter line. And I use that in place of an 0.15 line, okay? I think the bow is a little bit less because of that, 0.12 to 0.15 being physically, about 20% smaller. So it should bow a little bit less. But that's about it. But the only other thing I would say is that I had lay out or stay away from the really dark colors, or if you use a line like a dark green or something, or one of the browns, or probably the red, mix the lines, match it up with one line that's white or yellow.
That's what I've got, green and white. Yeah.
Yeah, the dark green is absolutely invisible. All right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to the point you drop it on the ground, you won't find it without like back walking it or something like that. It's amazing how they hide. It's probably great for fishermen for that. And the dark green seems to be the color that's available the most often. The white and the yellow are both really visible. In fact, while flying the airplane, I got mixed lines. I'm using the green line, green side up, right? Just like my grass, green side up. And when I'm flying the airplane, I usually can't see the green line even in the air. From following it out from the handle, it goes out of sight. The only line I can see is the light one, the white or the yellow. So.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I think Dennis Nunes had said that when he set up his lines, he was going with all white lines, and he was happy with that. And you can do that, and of course, it makes it real easy to do something like use a Sharpie marker or something like that, and color the ends. Red line for up or black. Yeah, you can color them up so you can get a visual reference of what's up and what's down. So
right. Dennis, you might have answered this question, but John Shukolek says fishing line is great for half A, and then he goes on to say, or ask, is the 50-pound line lighter than the 015 steel?
Much.
Much.
50, yeah, the 015 steel line, 63 feet long, weighed, I believe it was 29 grams. I put a table in the thread on Stunthangar on that, but it was like 29 grams, and the other stuff weighs about 2 grams.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm
You gotta change it.
finding you take out at least a half ounce of tip weight to start with, and you'll probably
Yeah.
end up taking a little more. On my big airplane that I used to fly in 018s, I took out 3/4 of an ounce, and still could probably go a little farther yet.
Wow.
I'm pretty happy with it at 3/4 of an ounce, and it's good there. So
Let me welcome Phillip Bailey. Thank you for coming in, Phil. Appreciate it.
Hey, glad to be here. I tell you what, Dennis, I had to take all the tip weight out of my Vector. I need to take some more out. The guys are saying the outboard wing's hanging down.
wow.
Wow.
Well, I have a couple airplanes where I had to add an inboard tip slug of weight.
That's
I
what I'm
couldn't
gonna
take
do.
any more out. So
I put a 10-penny nail hole in there, and I'm gonna put a nail in and just see what's. I'm not using a whole nail now. I'm starting with a half of one, and if that's not enough, I'll put a little longer piece in it. Nails are a lot cheaper than whatever, but yeah, that's what I'm doing.
yeah, that'll be a pretty easy way to put it in there too, and actually be able to pull it out, put a bigger one in or a smaller one in or whatever you decide. So
Yeah, and you just put it in and put a piece of electrical tape over it. Since the wingtip's
Yep.
white, put a piece of white electrical tape over it, and you really never see the darn thing. But it sure makes the plane fly better.
And once you get to where you want it to be, of course, a little drop of glue on there, and you'll be able to, you'll be able to hide it completely pretty doggone
Yeah.
easy. So
Yeah, it works well.
It kind of reminds me of a few years ago, I saw an ad or something for lightweight carbon fiber tip weight boxes. I kind of wondered, what the heck would you want a lightweight tip weight box for anyway?
well, wait a minute. I bought some aluminum tip weights once just so I could save some weight. So
oh, that's bad. That's
yeah, I
bad.
put in three. It says put in 3 slugs. That's what I did. I saved almost 3/4 of an ounce. Right. So
oh man.
Well, guys, on that chuckle, I better shut down and get some shut eye. Finish packing, get some shut eye. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow.
All right,
well,
Bob.
you're gonna have
headed?
quite a trip. So be safe out there.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah. The downside is I got to travel over some of the harshest countryside in North America. And of course, being on an airline going there, I can't carry a lot of my typical survival equipment I usually do, like flares and bear bangers and all that stuff. And, fuel for a camp stove. So it kind of pisses me off. Airlines won't let you carry anything when you're ferrying an airplane.
Well, worst case, you could buy it when you get there, I guess, and carry it back that way.
That's true. Yeah. That might be cheaper.
If I'm one way in it, if I'm leaving from home with it and I'm loaded up, I'll leave it there to come back, and I'll just charge the customer for the merchandise for what I leave behind. But going the other way, it's not quite as handy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, you guys have a great week, and hopefully everyone does fantastic at the Nats. It sounds like the weather's taking a turn for the better.
Well, yeah, now the rain has stopped, but the wind is supposed to kick in. We're supposed to have 18 to 30 mile an hour winds on Wednesday. So
Oh Lord.
nobody's
that
looking
will make
forward to
Sparky
that.
happy.
Oh
I hear
yeah,
Sparky.
yeah.
I hear Sparky did very well today, though.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
sure
got
did.
Okay, good night, all.
Good night,
Good
Bob.
night. You
See
take
you,
care.
Bob.
See ya.
Have a great flight.
I can't tell you how many years I've been ragging Sparky about putting an extra coat of clear on it so he could win the Concours. He finally won the darn thing. I'd find something else to rag him about now.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
know. Yeah.
But that Monado is the slickest thing he's done. How are you, Keith?
Out of here, Keith.
Yeah, I'm taking off.
Hey, Keith, thank you so much for coming in. Appreciate it.
You bet.
Take care of
And
yourself,
one more
buddy.
time, the pronunciation is Concours?
Concours.
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 Concours
No
elegans.
S. No S.
Concours.
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 All
Okay.
right. Thank you very
It's
much.
French. It's French. Ask Bob Hunt.
Okay.
He knows.
All righty.
Yeah.
Concours.
I'm gonna call it a night too.
All right, Jerry. Thank you so
Nice,
much.
nice to join you guys.
Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
You bet. We'll see you.
See ya.
and see ya.
Yeah.
Well, Danny,
so,
how is it up there this week?
Well, you got the weather report earlier. We had a lot of trouble with rain yesterday, and that's past us now. Now we're going to be getting wind for a few days, and wind and hot. It's supposed to turn real hot starting wind. Supposed to hit 94 on Wednesday. Yeah, 94 is it's supposed to be 94 degrees with 18 to 30 mile an hour winds. All right.
18 to 30.
Yeah.
Oh boy. 18 I can handle. 30, forget it.
Right. That's a 30-mile gust, right? So,
Yeah.
but,
We know how the gusts go in Indiana.
yeah. But at any rate, so it's not going to be a lot of fun this week. But yeah, we've had up through now. We've been just cruising on through appearance points and flight orders and things like that. Oh, one other thing I'm kind of happy with is that they managed to put Wes and I in the same circle, so it's going to make it real easy for us to pit for each other instead of in the past we haven't been able to do that.
nice.
And inevitably, of course, inevitably, it seems you got a flying buddy. They're on up exactly the same flight position on 2 circles away.
Right.
Is your buddy there with the laser?
With the laser? No. Larry was not able to make it. So.
Shucks.
Yeah, shucks. I was hoping he'd make it too, but he didn't feel like he was ready to fly to nationals, and he really didn't feel he was ready to fly in the wind, as it turned out. So he's as he's getting as we get our weather reports, he's pretty happy. Relatively that he didn't subject himself to that. So
Yeah. I hope he can get up with Walter and get that straightened out. I'd love to build that airplane. That plane's really pretty.
It really
But
is.
anyway,
It flies well too.
It sure does, and he flies it well.
Mm-hmm.
He kept saying, "Well, I'm trying to get used to it." I said, "If you get much more used to it, we're gonna be in trouble because we fly the same event."
Yeah,
I'm gonna be in trouble.
I have a question, Dennis. Now, in the wind, like 30-mile-an-hour wind gusts, would you be thinking about retrimming your plane or do something just to help you mitigate the wind?
I think when you're flying in the wind like that, the biggest thing that comes to the front is if you haven't been spending time trimming your airplane, you're going to wish you had. All right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I've been riding you a little bit about, I've been wishing that you would do more patterns and stuff like that, because patterns show up any weaknesses you have in your trimming. And the things that show up weaknesses in trimming are doing full stunt patterns, insides, outsides, up high, down low, and everything. You can see where things aren't right. If you run the power low, a little slow, if your airplane isn't trimmed out, you can't fly it slow. And if you're flying in the wind or in turbulence or something like that, Mother Nature sides with the hidden flaw. All right. If you have a flaw, if that hidden flaw is something in your trimming and stuff like that, it's really going to affect it. As far as making a change for the wind, I don't. So I don't know that I'm not sure what kind of change you could possibly make that would make it fly better in the wind and not also make it better fly in a calm. So I don't know. Phil, have you ever heard of anything like that?
No, I've always done the same thing. If it's not trimmed, when you go in the wind, the two biggest contests that I've won are the 2 years I won a concurrent trophy, I call it, at Huntersville, and both years it was bad wind, and it was definitely a case of if you're not trimmed if you're not got it trimmed right, it will show up in the wind.
Mhm.
It's really, but I don't make any trim changes for the wind either. I just fly it the same way and maybe a little faster. I might turn the needle in or turn the RPM up a couple hundred RPM, but that's about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. These got a lot of guys. There are guys that make a whole bunch of trim changes. I make it, of all things, nose heavy. I don't make it nose heavy for the wind. I want it tail heavy. If anything, in the wind, I want to go ahead and turn.
Yeah.
But I fly a little tail heavy, so I fly it the same way in the wind. But I've watched Dennis fly, and I'm not beginning to be in his league, so don't even think about that. But I don't make any big trim changes, no. But then I'm not near the trimmer, obviously, that y'all are, because I don't fly like y'all. Wow.
I keep learning about trimming. Frankly, I've learned more in the last 5 years than I learned in the previous 50. So,
well,
it's because I've been more aggressive. I've been doing some more aggressive things that I would have never done in the past, and I've gotten some positive results out of some of them. Things like thrust changes, and well, the one I-beam airplane I had, I was convinced that there was a problem in the leading edge shape, and I ended up cutting back the covering and putting a new leading edge on it, on an I-beam wing, which is quite the thing. But you know what? It worked, and the airplane made it. It took an airplane that was really, really bad and turned it into a not bad airplane. So it's actually a pretty good airplane. So.
Well, I'm not quite that I know that was a job. The worst thing I've done is I always used to laugh at, we had a guy that flew an All-American senior. You know how asymmetrical that is. He put clay on the inboard wing, and I thought that was the weirdest thing I'd ever seen. So here I go putting a nail in the inboard wing of my airplane, and I didn't think I'd ever do something like that. But with these new lines, you got to do something. I mean, what you normally do don't work. You got to try something new. You got new lines that are much lighter. You got to try something new.
Yeah,
but it works.
And I'll bet if you weighed the air, or I don't know if you're weighing your wingtip or anything like that, but I'm betting. Well, you said that's in a vector that does have somewhat wing offset, but I'm betting that the habits we get into. You put all the heavy wood on the outboard wing, right? So you don't need as much wing. And this is just a situation where that all comes back to haunt you, all right? My other thing is that I would always build in a little bit of wingtip weight, and I'd use the tip weight box for fine tuning.
Yeah.
All right. So instead of, I wouldn't put an ounce in the tip weight box. I put like a half an ounce into the wing, and then a half an ounce into the tip weight box, or, adjust up and down from there. Well, I get to the point now where I take everything there is out of the tip weight box, and there's that other built-in half ounce I can't get to, without some really major surgery. And the more compelling thing to do is just to add a piece of lead to the other side. So
yeah. Well, this is actually an ARF, so I didn't build any weight into it, but it is I've taken everything I can out, and now I've got to put some on the other tip, which is just weird to me. But I always thought it was weird to have to add nose weight, because motor and everything up there, that can't be light, but sometimes it is.
I'm just curious. I don't recall. Is this your first experience with the Spectra lines?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't remember you saying before that you'd actually tried them yet. So.
Oh yeah, I tried them last Saturday, and it was quite different. Quite different. I ended up taking the green ones, and fishermen use this stuff. I cannot remember what it's called, but it's yellow dye, and we dye the claws of like oh, help me out here, Eddie, the crawfish, fake crawfish. We'll dye the claws yellow, Well, I figured if it'll dye that, how about if I take the line and just put down in it and dye it? So I tried that. You know what? It don't work. The dye's not stronger than that green paint.
Yeah.
The green color.
That green is awfully strong. So.
But
about the only other saving grace is that the oldest lines I have were green, and the green faded over time. So that might work out. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Green has always been a good color for fishing line. Used to be, Trilene had a line they called Mean Green Trilene, and it was green, and it did work very well. But this stuff's claim to fame is it's so darn strong, and it'll saw through the lily pads and stuff. But as flying line, it works great. Everybody kept telling me, oh, it's going to feel spongy. It's got to feel spongy. I don't think it's any more spongy than a pair of steel lines. The weirdest experience I ever had was going to those brass lines. That felt funny. The lines just felt funny. They felt so rough. These are just dead slick. They go through the air like they're not there. And where you're used to seeing 2 feet of bow in your lines, it's dead straight to the airplane, just dead straight out. But it's just like you say, when you lay the darn things down in the grass or on the asphalt, they're gone. They disappear. I got to get some yellow, but every time I try to order it, they say out of stock. So I'll get some eventually. Right now, but I've got the 100-pound and I've got the 65-pound, and they're both green. My mistake. I thought it would be good. I thought that would look good when I ordered it, and I didn't think about laying it down on the asphalt. Guys are walking your lines, and what are you going to say? They really can't see the darn stuff. So,
Well,
yeah.
Consider make a little test on that green with some chlorine bleach. See if that overpower the green dye.
Now that might work. First, I'll try a piece and cut 2 pieces the same length and make the ends up and put one in chlorine bleach and try it, and then try the burst test. Because of my luck, I'd get it where it works and then watch the plane fly away. But
two things were never said.
Yeah, I always look for the dumb things, because the dumb things are the ones that will get you. Little things you just don't think of are the ones that'll get you. Devil's in the details. But I'm telling you, the new lines, they add a new dimension to trimming, because you really don't have to use all that tip weight. But I thought the plane was flying perfect, and the guys are telling me your outboard wings down upright and inverted. I said, well, ain't but one thing that can be, because we got another fella trying a brand new airplane, one of those fancy new $800 things that just the full flying tail, and his outboard wing is up in both maneuvers, both directions. It's up. I think he's got a warp, but everybody's telling us he's got a warp, and I'm sitting there. If it's warped, it's only going to be up in one direction.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It needs more tip weight. And they said, well, he's got a big clot of clay on the outboard wing now. I don't care. If it's up in both directions, it needs more tip weight.
Exactly.
But I can't tell anybody anything. Nobody wants to listen to me, so that's all right. I don't care. I don't care. I offer to tell them what little I know. If they don't listen, it's their choice.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. That's good. Hey guys, Brent Williams
on your spider wires.
Do what?
Offer to let him fly it on your fishing line.
Oh yeah.
Take a lot of weight off of that inboard tip.
Oh yeah, and if it gets lower, then that's the right way to go. Yeah.
That's an idea. I'll do that Saturday.
Yeah.
I've got a set of 100-pound made up. I'll offer it to him. Good idea, John.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very good idea.
It's more people willing to try it.
Yeah. I don't know if he's willing to try it or not. He's still scared to do anything with this airplane, because it's pretty good outlay. I heard about a guy that had a Axioma he wanted to get rid of, and I'm trying to get in touch with him, but I haven't found him yet. I'd like to have an Axioma, but what the heck? Find it. If I don't find it, I don't find it. I can't help it either way.
Yeah.
Hey guys, in the chat box, we have Brent Williams. He says, howdy guys.
Hi, Brent.
Howdy, Brent.
Brent. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Why the heck aren't you on here? Get on here.
That's it.
That's a good question. I don't know why he doesn't come in more often, but he does come in once in a while.
Yeah, he does, and it's always good when he does. There's several people I enjoy seeing. Well, I enjoy seeing everybody. That's what this thing's really about. We have,
Yeah.
a bunch of grown men playing with toy airplanes. It's the people that count. That you get when you start winding down, you think about, I can't do this too many more years, and you start thinking about all the trophies downstairs I've won. Trophies don't mean anything. It's the people you met along the way.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It's the fellowship and the people and yeah, the personalities, and it's fun.
Oh, we've got some people that got some personalities.
I'm looking at what Stuart's doing there. Stuart, that airplane looks like Cub yellow. Is that a Cub or is that a?
It's a Cub.
Yeah, it's a
That's it. Yeah, definitely. You got the window or door folding up, door folding down.
Big John, you've never flown in a Cub, have you?
Yes, I have. Super Cub.
I've never flown a Super Cub, but I've had a J3, and that's unmistakably a J3 door.
Well, don't the Aronkas have that fold like that? I remember seeing on the only one
I think
know
one of them does. The Citabria does not, but I think the Aronica does. The Champ, I think, does.
Yeah, I think
Seems
it's
like.
yeah.
I'm more interested in that vacuum system he's got there.
Yeah,
that is pretty neat. Yeah, he tied it into his house vacuum system.
He's got a slick vacuum system, no doubt.
That's it.
Whoa. There's two people supposed to be listening, said they'd be listening tonight. And just in case they are listening, yes, they finally got it moved. They finally got it set up. I finally got my building on my land, and I finally got it set up. And oh, what a saga.
Yeah.
One day you get to show us your new shop when you get it squared away.
Oh man, I don't have Wi-Fi out there, but it's I'll try to take some pictures and show you one night. It's gonna be a long time coming because I still got to wire it, then insulate it, and then put the sheetrock up, and then we'll start making it a shop. But before I even do that, I've got some other things. I have to take the old building, everything out of the old building, and put in the new building, then rebuild the old building, then put that back as a storage barn, and then put this one as a shop. So it's probably a year project.
Well, when you get
We'll
a chance,
see.
get a repeater or extender so you can get Wi-Fi out there in your shop.
Yeah, would you believe I have an extender just to get all the way through the house? When I get out in my driveway, and I've had them come out and look, and they told me I was, well, he didn't want to say it, but he was thinking I was crazy, but he fell short of saying that. But he said, there's no way in God's green earth you can go in your driveway with this extender and get the people on that side of me stronger in that driveway than I can my own. So I told him, okay, come to the house, bring your gauge, bring your good gauge. He came to the house, he brought his gauge, and he said, I don't understand. And I told him I don't either, but I can get their Wi-Fi much stronger than I get my Wi-Fi in my driveway.
Theirs.
Do what?
I said, just use theirs then.
Sounds like a plan.
Well, there's this.
Say you don't have Wi-Fi. It says it's good. You're just not trying hard enough there, Phil.
I get better Wi-Fi at my building. Get theirs from the building. I carry my iPad out there. I get Wi-Fi out there. I can't get it. I can't get mine, but I can get theirs. But I can't get on theirs because I don't have their password. I'm going to ask Mike, my next door neighbor, what the heck kind of whatever do you have? Because that thing booms in here. I get 5 bars in my driveway. I only get 2 with mine.
Yeah, he might have a pretty powerful, robust.
He must have a doozy
or router.
I'm gonna find out because we got the same system. We both use Roadrunner, so I'll have to find out what's happening.
Yeah,
I'll have to find out what's happening because I don't know. I don't understand it.
All right.
Guys,
guys,
I'm gonna hit.
I think I'm gonna bail out too.
Thank you so much, Dennis. I didn't expect
you flying tomorrow, Dennis?
And I appreciate it.
No, tomorrow Wes is flying and I'm pit crewing. So
what's
I'll
he
start
flying?
He's flying classic tomorrow.
Oh gosh, what plane's he flying?
An Aries.
I don't know if I've seen his Aries, but that ought to be pretty. Okay, one question before you go. One question before you go. On a Pathfinder, what electric motor would you put in it?
flying mine with a Aerowind 2820, which is the equivalent of a badass 2826. Four
Okay,
cells.
that's what I've got, 2826. Okie dokie, then I'm doing the right
Well,
thing.
hey, it goes with the prop. 2826 will live comfortably with an 11-inch prop, and it will turn to 12 if it has to, but Pathfinder flies better with an 11 than it flies with a 12. So
It
just go
does.
with the-
My big
yeah.
one does.
Yep.
I managed to, my big one is powered by 51. I call it my big one. My IC one is powered by 51. And my prop got busted, not flying. It got busted on the ground. So I ended up clipping it 1/2 inch and cleaning it up. It was the only prop I had with me, so I didn't have a choice. So I cleaned it up, put it on there, and to my surprise, it flies better with a rev up cut to 11 than it did with a 12.6. I don't understand that, but it did. It does.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dennis, take care of yourself.
Hang
We'll
on, Dennis.
talk
I
to
don't
you
know.
Friday
John
night, I hope.
has a question for you, but John wants to say something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I just want to ask Eddie a question.
Yeah.
Eddie? Okay. Hey, Dennis.
Do it
thank
real
you, Dennis.
quick, and then Eddie, how's the JV special coming along?
Well,
Thank you, Dennis. If you want to go ahead, buddy.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate
Good
it.
night.
Dennis,
See ya.
take care. Good
Dennis.
night.
I've got everything cut out, just about. Where'd it go?
Where'd he go?
I'm right here.
He's just around the corner there.
Can't see
Oh, yeah.
you.
Here he comes.
I've got the,
Oh, nice.
Wow. That does look
Actually,
good.
it goes.
sorry, there we go.
I started to say that don't look right.
That's a funny looking rudder, wasn't it?
I love that. I love that rudder shape.
That is
There
nice.
you go.
That is nice.
Did a good job on that.
Then the
Look at there.
All right.
Looking good.
You start on the other end of the airplane from where I start, but
well, I would normally start with the wing, but I don't have my my good table set up yet. And the wing is designed with the leveling tabs on it.
oh yeah.
I got to have a good smooth surface. I got a table I got to put in here. It's a 36 by a 3 foot by 6 foot.
Oh, you'll love that. I've got a 4x8 that
Yeah,
was
3 to
a
6.
conference. It was a conference room table.
Yeah, well, mine come out of my wife's work. It's a industrial table.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
nice.
Oh,
I
well,
was going to say 3x6 is about perfect because believe it or not, 4x8 is so darn big it gets in your way.
yeah, this is 3 by 6, and I'm going to have a 2 by 5 piece of glass on it. That way I can slide it, and if I have to get, just move it out of the way or whatever. But
That sounds like you'll be set right.
if I need
Believe
to,
me,
if I need
believe me,
to clamp a
Go ahead.
vise or something to the table, I won't be able to do it if I cover the whole thing in glass.
well, I made that mistake. I bought a big sheet of plate glass, the kind of shatterproof type, and it still breaks. It might not shatter, but it still breaks.
Yeah.
But
Here's Brent and his son.
Yeah.
Well, I bought a the window inserts for doors.
yeah,
It's got the different panes, or some of them
Yeah.
have louvers in them, whatever. Well,
Yeah.
I bought an insert. It's a double pane for $50. So I'm gonna tear it apart, take the glass out of it, and use it for my tabletop.
that sounds like a winner.
If that don't
That's
work, I've got my oldest son's friend works at Springfield Glass, and he can get me a piece of 3/8 2x5 for, I think it was $200 is what it get. Yeah.
Ouch.
Well, see, it's 3/8, so I can get away with 1/4 inch, but
Yeah,
So
I tell you
you
what you do with all the remodeling that's going on. Find you one of these gas stations that's being torn down, and go up and ask the demolition people if you can have the front window. That's what I did, and they said sure if you want to come get it. So I got a couple of friends, and we just got some duct tape and made some handles on it, cut the darn thing out, and popped it. One of the guys knew how to cut glass, and I did cheat on that. He knew how to do all the stuff.
well,
And
I
we
don't have
popped
to
the
cut
thing out.
glass, but my problem is everything's tempered, so I don't. If you don't know what you're doing trying to cut tempered glass, you end up with a bag of glass marbles.
Yeah.
Well, this wasn't tempered. This is just
Yeah.
regular glass. But I ended up with this and found out the station. I knew the station had been there since I was a kid. I didn't realize until I got it home, there's glass that's dead flat, and there's glass that's been poured that's actually got ripples in it.
Wow.
And I said, oh man, I did all this work, spent all this money, because I gave the guys some money to help me get it home and take it down. I'm not going to be able to use it. And I realized one side of it's waved. The other side of it was on a mold, and it's dead flat. So I just had to turn the thing over. But that was weird. That freaked me out.
Yeah.
I
That's,
also got the inside fuselage piece.
Oh, okay. Looks
That's
good.
pretty. You do good work. I don't care what somebody else says.
that's done with the circuit machine?
No, this was hand done.
Oh, you did really nice. Wow. Very nice work. That looks beautiful.
You
I was
know,
going to say, if he did that with a circuit, something's wrong, because mine won't handle stock that big.
yeah, it's 24 inches as big as you can cut it.
Yeah, and that looks like a 32 or 34 inch piece.
That's a 36 1/4.
36. Wow. Missed
It's a
that
big
one.
plane.
This was the hardest part right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
the doublers.
You did good.
Yeah. Yeah,
Wow,
you did
really
good.
Eddie. Wow.
Brent's showing us his newest airplane.
Yeah. I was waiting for Eddie to
Take a
finish.
look at that.
But it's almost 11 o'clock here. I'm gonna head on, get to site.
All right.
I'll see y'all Friday. Well, I probably won't see you Friday. I got a fishing tournament Saturday, so.
All right. Well, I'll see you the next week then,
Yep.
Eddie.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll
Eddie, we'll see you next week.
All right.
Thank you, Eddie, for
You
coming in.
take care. Eddie.
Show me
Good
your-
luck in the tournament.
Thank you.
And let's
Here's
see.
a little creation here if you guys want to see it.
Yeah, absolutely. There
So this
we
is my carbon fuselage plane that I'm building.
right.
So it's got the wing cores joined together last night. That was my first time joining up a sheeted wing, so that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
Got all the controls in there, and anyway, it's an impact wing, and then so that's kind of what it looks like in there right now.
That's interesting looking. I've never seen a fuselage like that.
Yeah, you probably won't. So it's then, let's see. So I still need to build a saddle, for the elevator, or excuse me, for the stabilizer to sit in. That'll go back there. And so right now, let's see, the wing and everything weighs, let's see, with the motor package and everything, it's like 50 ounces right now. So it should come in at 60 ounces or so. So
Very nice. Now, is that a finder in front of it on the floor?
yeah, this is my
Pathfinder. Cha-ching.
Ding.
So this is the Pathfinder here. Sorry, it's messed down here, but
No worries.
so anyway, it's this was a hand-me-down from one of our club members, and it's heavy and oil soaked and weird construction. But I decided to, sorry, I'm doing this one-handed. I decided to convert it over to electric, and it flies pretty well, actually. It's this is a really simple battery compartment technique you can do. Is you can take K&S, thin aluminum sheet, and bend it into a little cradle like this.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's mostly air, so there's nothing lighter than air. So
Hydrogen.
there's a lot of battery containment systems out there that are a heck of a lot of plywood, and those are all good and they look nice. But if you have a plane that's on the heavy side and you need to simplify things, a little battery cage made out of thin aluminum gets the job.
Does the job. Yeah.
So, and then you just use one little battery strap on this side to keep it from going anywhere. So
Who built that originally?
it was George Swanson's.
I thought so.
So I painted the fuselage with yellow Rust-Oleum, and it was too heavy. So I stripped most of it off back here and left it yellow up front. And the primary reason for doing so is one of the fields that I fly at has trees in the background, and the plane with that olive drab would get lost in the back. I literally could not see it. So, but anyway, it weighs with a 4-cell 2800 battery and the Cobra 2820. It weighs about 52 or 53. So it's a little, it's a little bulky, but it flies pretty nice. These are really nice. These are the new badass wood propellers.
Yeah, I'm so frustrated. I was trying to relieve the back of it so it can fit on my collet, and the drill bit ate the prop and put a hole diagonal in it.
Oh no! Yeah, it's a reamer. So
yeah, I know. So,
but they're so interesting on the badass prop. So I did a back-to-back test with that. You can go ahead and take it off here if you want. But I did a back-to-back test of the APC prop to the sorry.
Badass should have been a whole lot lighter.
I believe Dennis says it uses less power.
So anyway, I did a back-to-back test of the APC prop, and then looked at the battery usage. And so this plane's kind of heavy and it's draggy, and this has a lot going against it. So anyway, on this particular plane, it would take the battery down to about 13%, which is too much. It's taking it too far. And so I flew 3 flights back to back. So the first flight, I used the APC prop, and it took it down to 13%. And then all I did was changed over to the badass 11.6, and it had less thrust than the APC prop that I was using, but it finished the flight with 33% battery.
Wow.
So, and what I had to do with the other one was I had to shorten the flight time down to like 5 minutes flat. So I had no extra laps. It was take off, do 2 laps, and go right into the wing over. And there was just no, that's the only way I could not kill the battery. So anyway, I upped the time to 520 and then added 200 RPM and still landed with 25%. So they are a lot more efficient than APC props, and they're dead quiet. They make almost zero noise.
That's what Dennis said. And I was talking to Steve about it, and I said, well, the noise is extra, is wasted energy. So,
and the other thing they don't do is APC electric props groan in the corners. So when you hammer a corner, if you fly a corner, it's not as bad, but if you're actually out there trying to hammer something, an APC prop will go in the corner. And apparently that's bad on bearings, but you can certainly hear it. And, so yeah, I'm excited. I might try a cut down 12.6 next and see if that also will get me back some of the thrust that I was missing, but remain efficient. So
are most people going to electric now?
Say what?
Are most people going to electrics?
Oh, I'd say it's split. If a person is significantly invested in glow, it's hard to make the transition for them sometimes because they're so invested in it that they don't want the You know, it's taken years for them to acquire the cool stuff that they have, and then say, well, it's the modern age, and I'm just going to throw it all on eBay. Kind of feels like it's hard, you know. But
I'm just getting into it. So it's
Norm Whittle did it.
I've only been in it. Well, it'll be 2 years in August. So, but yeah,
electrics are really attractive to fly. It just feels so powerful, you know. And I think that feeling of power is, you know, on a governor system, you command 9,500 RPM or whatever, and it will move heaven and earth to remain at 9,500 RPM. Plus, you're getting 14 pulses per revolution instead of one, you know, and it just feels so powerful, and it's confidence inspiring is one way I think of it. It just feels powerful going through the maneuvers.
yeah, I fly RC and I've got both in that. And yeah, you get that instant power when you're flying, and it's different.
Yep, it's a different feel. And then part of it, you know, I think one thing that's missing on electric is when you fly glow, you've got to collect your thoughts and focus yourself, or else you're going to hurt yourself. You know, there's a ritual involved with the glow setup where if you're not in the game and committed, you could hurt yourself really badly. And so I think with electric, there's a thing where you just push the button and you don't think about it, which is good, and sometimes maybe not so good. I don't know if the ritual of the glow thing helps commit you to the flight and put you in the frame of mind that it's time to fly, or I don't know.
Well, the problem with getting your finger in an electric prop is much worse than getting it in the arc of a IC, because like you said, it tries to move heaven and earth to maintain that 9,500 RPM. And so until the battery goes dead, it just keeps pouring more coals to it, trying to keep it going that fast.
Yeah,
Whereas
electric,
with an IC, it might stop, it might not, but it might stop.
on the high end of electric systems, it's remarkably close. So I had my electric Sultan, and Gordon had his Sultan, which had a Rojet 65 on it, and I flew them back to back on the same day, and they feel remarkably similar, which I thought was really cool. So that's kind of fun to have a top end comparison. But
yeah,
you know, the one thing you're not getting is I was flying with a $4 prop, and you know, there was a $50 carbon prop on the Rojet and just all the other stuff. So it was, I thought that's one thing I think is kind of funny about electric is, unless you're going to go like with the carbon Igor hollow props, for the rest of us that aren't going to buy those, you're just flying on $7 or $5 two blade setups that fly great, you know. So anyway.
Yeah, well, hey, thank you. I appreciate that.
That is one of the calling cards for electric, is that you don't have all the $11 to $15 glow plugs. You don't have the now getting hard to get fuel. You don't have the $50, $60 propellers. But I mean, you know, there's bound to be some downsides to the electric. I just hadn't found it yet.
One thing there is a downside on smaller planes, like for kids.
Oh yeah.
So like, you know, with electric, unless you're field charging, you're taking the power that you're going to fly with and you're done. And if you're flying with little kids that want to keep flying all day, that's a significant deterrent. You know, like a little Concours engine, for all their frustration, they're only flying with 8 cc's at a time, and you can get a lot of flights in with little kids. You know, squirt a little fuel in it and bada bing, off you go. So that's one disadvantage on small planes to electric versus glow. They fly better, you know, on small electric setups. They fly awesome, they really do. But you know, unless you're going to take 10 or 15 or 20 batteries to the field, unless you're going to field charge, but like with Cox engines, and you can fly all day long on a cup of fuel, you know. So
That's true. I got to give you that one. I still have 049 planes in there, Cox motors, most of them, and I still fly. I fly old time, and I fly old time with mostly with Foxes. I've got a T-shirt that says "Old Timers Do It with Foxes." I picked up at Tucson, and I really believe in that. Who's leaving?
Me.
Well, you know, I'm going to be ending the live stream. It's 9 o'clock out here anyway, so.
Oh well, I guess I better be putting it to bed too then.
I was going to end the show anyway, so. But we had a good show. Thank you very much for coming in. I appreciate it, and hopefully stay tuned to the Stunthangar and Mike Lonke on his social media. I'm sure he's uploading videos of the Nats. You can keep up to date with what's going on, and we'll be back Friday. And I was gonna say, you know, Sparky's doing using the bandwidth and the expense. If you could show him some love and hit some super chats to him, I know he'd appreciate it to help offset the money he's paying for bandwidth. So congratulations to Tom Creasy and all the other winners. We just know personally, just know Tom Creasy and Sparky. So we want to congratulate them on them.
What Tom win?
Tom won beginner.
All right. Cool
Yeah,
deal.
Tom Creasy won beginner.
Yeah.
Cool deal.
That is really
Very
cool.
good.
Yeah, very cool bean. So
Very good.
I can't wait for him to come in. We can congratulate him. But anyways, thanks everybody for coming in. And I'm going to shut down the stream and we can see if we want to continue on the after party. But until then, good night, everybody. See ya. Let's see here.